My name is Hippolyte Lefebvre. I am an assistant professor in management information systems here at UCD, and I am teaching managing data and AI at UCD Smurfit. So these days we have a lot of hype around AI, and I would argue that all this hype is really focused on how to always make, these AI algorithms always more performance, getting the best AI outputs, and always be to competitors, right? But in organizations, the reality is quite different. Organizations are really challenged by making sure that AI is actually connected to business value, but is also learning from, let's say, the reality of different businesses it's implemented in, but also how can we ensure that it's used responsibly and also following regulations. So, in practice, organizations ask basic but really important questions such as what kind of data can we use? Who is responsible for AI outputs? What business processes are impacted? But also, what changes do we need to implement in terms of how we train our workforce? If the work is changing, the nature of work is changing, which capabilities do we need to also implement so that the workforce also adapts? And this is exactly the kind of questions I'm basically addressing in my research with an emphasis on data and AI governance, but also trying to understand what are the changes in the nature of work. Across our master's program here at UCD Smurfit, especially in the Management Information Systems department, um, we have a long tradition of excellence, bringing skills related to, advanced analytics such as machine learning, but also optimization, statistics, and digital innovation. And here in my new course called Managing Data and AI, I'm trying to, to build on these foundations, but also bring a more business kind of oriented reality in the management and deployment of AI systems. And I really want to stress to students that um, good AI only works with great data management. So, for instance, in class, we study the failure of an AI forecasting tool because of poor data management, but also because employees rely too much or blindly on AI outputs. So we have to cover like foundations of data management, such as how do we build the right data architecture for AI? How do we handle metadata for AI? But also on the management side, how do we govern it and how we strategize it? So in the model, we have a few sessions that relate to how do we improve data quality. And this is so important because with poor data quality, your AI just doesn't work, right? So here I'm trying to, well, bring state-of-the-art approaches into data quality management. So with students, we use best practices in prompt engineering, and we use Gen AI to actually assess, inspect data sets, but also trying to generate, let's say, corrections to data sets, but also support, well, the documentation of these data sets. And the most interesting part here is, well, it's quite interesting as a new technique, but it also has limitations versus more traditional, well-established techniques, such as SQL, for instance. And here I want to make the point with students that obviously new technologies have pros, but they also have limitations, and that students need to master basically the more traditional and legacy approaches that are super useful still these days, but also they need to complement it with more, we'll say, AI powered techniques that emerge these days. Across our programs at UCD, we really strive to combine, well, academically sound kind of content with, you know, developing the right skills that students really need for, entering the job market. And obviously, AI here is everywhere in the demand of organizations. So, for instance, in my course, in addition to the content I mentioned before around data management, data governance, data strategy, and whatever kind of data preparation is required for AI, I also bring, well, guest speakers in class who are actually able to present how all of these skills translate in organizations. So all of this really contributes to, well, bringing the right skills to the market.